Hello. Let me see. Can y'all hear me on here? Let me make sure I got my stuff on right. I think y'all can hear me. I think y'all can see me. Uh-huh. Boom. We are on. Happy Sunday, everybody. Let me see. Got some comments here. Hey. Hey, everybody. Whew. We are here. Today is Sunday. My God. Listen. Today is Sunday. Yes, we can hear. Okay, good. I always got to ask that question because this stuff does nothing but play with me and play on my time. I mean, it does nothing but that. So I'm glad that y'all can hear me. I'm happy to see y'all, those that will participate and join in today. Listen, we're doing ourselves some soul contract readings. All that is required if you send in for one of the readings is to put your full birthday. If you don't know, which if you watch any of my content since me coming back, we got a whole new ball game here. The spirit has allowed me and given me some information to develop a system of numerology that I call the numbers. Okay. And it's Afro numerology. And we get right down to the things. And let me tell you something. People lie, but the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie at all. Okay? And so we get down to the things. So if you would like a soul contract reading, oh God, fix this. I think the last readings we did the other day were wealth code readings. Hey, you said haven't been able to catch you live in so long. Well, actually, I took a sabbatical. I had to get myself together. And I think sometimes we're just such in a culture of do, and produce, that we don't even take time to ourselves to listen, to hear, to recharge, and to recover. And so we got to make sure that we get on point and we get on top of that and do that. Hi, Patrice. I got you. I got you first on the list. We got to recharge. You got to recover. So before we get started with these readings today, I want to talk about this universal 8 month that we are in. This universal 8 month, we're in a number 9 year. Number 9 year speaks about endings. It brings about chaos. That's why the world is looking how it's looking and things are happening how they are happening. It brings hot-tempered energy. Hence the fires and things we've experienced throughout this year, but also emotionally. Some of us may have found that anger has come back at an all-time high with us in ways that we have not been angry or upset before. But that thing has come back full speed. And it's just the temperament of this 9 year. Going forward, rage. Yeah, rage. But this is what I want y'all to be mindful of this 8 month. That universal 8 energy focuses on the ego. It focuses on the pride. It focuses on the mask, the performance that you have been giving the world. And it has a focus on authority. So when we talk about, let's just talk about the pride and the ego. Your ego is going to be challenged and has been being challenged this month. All right. A lot of time we think about ego, we only think about an arrogant thing, like you thinking you better than somebody. It not necessarily showing up in that way. Sometimes it shows up in a way of you wanting to present yourself as being okay when you're not. And someone who loves you is trying to highlight something in you, and you won't tell them because of you are afraid of appearing or looking a certain way. That's ego. Okay. So many things. So that's going to bring up our insecurities this month. I've already windmilling through all that myself. Okay. So this also brings authority figures into play. So challenges around your authority, you being the leader of certain things, challenges around other people being the leaders and being the authority figures. You may be bumping heads with leaders, bosses, managers, things like that, because that 8 brings that. And so what is most important for us to know and for us to understand is that we can navigate through these things. We can keep ourselves at the center. It's the snake that you don't see that bites you. So if you don't know that this month has a focus on the ego, a focus on authority figures, then you will be caught off guard when you have some heat or some friction with somebody, or when your own ego is being challenged. So what you got to do is remember what I said and remember what you know. And so when it comes up, you can stop and take a breath and take a pause and respond and not suffer in reactivity. Okay? Because that's what'll shut us down every time. So through this good old number system, I want you to know that I also have a whole new set of services. So I also have another Patreon, a new Patreon that focuses in Afro-numerology, because I think sometimes, at least for me, in my journey, in my development, and in understanding who I am, understanding my numbers, what I've come to understand is I need both the supernatural and the natural. Everything for me can't be mystical. I need something to ground me in something that is tangible, something that is calculatable. And so with this Afro-numerology system, this is spirit meeting strategy. Okay? Spirit meeting strategy. And we're grateful for that. I'm a black. Yeah, boom. We're grateful for that. So this is what we're doing. So what we're able to do with this numerology system is figure out, and y'all will learn that. You will learn that too. We can calculate almost anything. We're able to go back and look at all the energies connected to each year of your life. And just by utilizing the numerology, we can get clear about what was happening and accurately pinpoint what was the theme and the energy then, which means what? We can also do that for the future. So we can play with these numbers if you want to play with the numbers, honey. We're here for the truth. Okay? And we're here for the strategy. And that's why I'm keeping, hey, Darcell, come on. We got 2 Darcells here. Yes, my name twin. Yes, how you been? Listen, keep my head above water, making a wave when I can. So yeah, this is what we're doing. That's why I keep my foot on Donald Trump's neck, and I can pinpoint everything he got going on going forward. Thus, so we can be prepared. And that's what we're doing in the Patreon, making sure everybody's prepared and knows how to pivot with all the things that we are dealing with and what is to come. Now, we're on to the soul contract. First on our list. Thank you so much for all the roses. I appreciate it. We got Patrice. If you want to get in on this reading, make sure you put I need your full birthday. Full birthday. All right. Patrice, here we go. So I'm going to give you your sacred count numbers. And I want you to hold on to these numbers and know that these are the numbers of your design. No, baby. Hi, I'm calling you back because I got to call you back because I'm on live. Bye. Okay. Okay. I'm going to give you these numbers first. And this is for everyone that getting a reading today. That is your sacred count. Don't lose these numbers. These numbers are the numbers that are connected to your divine design. And this is your spiritual SSN, Social Security number. Okay? So Patrice, come on September 24th. Okay. Your numbers are 9, 6, 1, 7. 9, 6, 1, and 7. Okay? So your birth gate number is the 9. Your soul nature is the 6. Your ancestral current is the 1. And your divine mission number is the 7. So when we have someone with these numbers like this, Patrice, let's talk about, we're going to talk about your soul contract in different steps. First, we're going to identify the purpose of you being incarnate here at this time in this lifetime. And then we're going to get into your soul agreements. So when we talk about the soul agreements is broken up in the numbers numerology system as 4 different areas: the self agreement, the ancestral agreement, the divine agreement, and the relational agreement. So the agreements you came into this space making with yourself, the agreements you came into the world that you've made with your ancestors, the agreements that you have made with the divine, with the source, all that is, and also the agreements that you have made concerning you and other people. Okay? And Patrice, I just want to make sure, are you here? I just want to make sure that you're on here and I'm not doing this and you're not here. You got to be here because you just sent this. Are you on? Okay. I just want to make sure. All right. Here we go. So, your soul came through the world, to this world, through the birth gate of 9. Okay? And so 9 is the number of the humanitarian. 9 is the number of wisdom, of universal compassion. 9 is a global number. Okay? So wired for compassion, wired for wisdom, and wired for service, Patrice. Your soul nature, which is that 6, means that you are someone that you're naturally nurturing, you're naturally protective, and you are bound to create harmony in relationships and in community. So people love you being around, love you being involved, because you just going to be the one to balance things out. That's just it. Okay? You tend to be the one in the middle of things, in between two things, the liaison, and you bring balance to those relationships. You got an ancestral current number of 1. And so this shows that just from the bloodline, Patrice, you were meant to blaze trails. You were meant to lead. You were meant to break patterns of dependency, because that number 1 is the initiator. That number 1 is original. Okay? That is the trailblazer. And your divine mission 7 makes you someone that is a seeker of truth. You are someone destined to grow into spiritual mastery and also to live as a vessel of discernment. All right? So spirituality, you was going to end up being in this spiritual space any way you look at it. I mean, you were going to end up here. Okay? So let's get into your soul agreements. Let's talk about the agreements you made with self. I do seek truth. And yes, I'm clairvoyant or medium, I think. I'm sure you are. You have to be with these numbers. 9, you got your 9. You got that 7. 7 is the number of the mystic, of the diviner. So absolutely. So the agreements you made with yourself coming into this world, to this life, to this incarnation. You came to learn how to balance service and self-care. Service and self-care. Because that 6 will give endlessly. Will give. But this contract requires learning when to give and when to step back. Okay? That's one agreement with self. The second self agreement is to walk as a carrier of wisdom and to anchor it into practical service. As to say, gain the knowledge, learn different things from different people, from different religions, different cultures, different whatever. Carry that wisdom and learn how to take what you learn and put that into service in a way that is reasonable and practical and understandable to those that are around you and to your community. All right? Your third agreement with self, coming back to that 1, is to grow into independence, to grow into doing your own thing. And to release the temptation to hide behind others' authority. Because that could seem easier. To be like, well, listen, if something's wrong, it ain't me, it's them. So I'm just going to sit behind them. But that is dishonoring your design. Is your wig flying back already? The last agreement you made with self is to follow the inner path of spirit, even if that road at times feels isolating. So when you go against your inner spirit, going against what you feel you need to do, the unique thing you need to do, when you go against that for the sake of being in connection with people, you are actually going against your design. So above all things, you have to follow what your Ori is telling you. You have to follow your own inner guidance. All right? Let's talk about your ancestral agreements. With that, because of that, number one, your ancestral agreement is to break cycles of silence, break cycles of being passive, break cycles of playing in the background, and step into the position of a leader. Ancestral agreement number one is to become the leader, to give voice to the voiceless. My own inner guidance telling me to move and start a new life in Virginia. Well, not listening to that is going against your design. Look like you're about to pack your things up, sweetie. Wow, I was just looking at VP positions. Where's the lie at? Hey, sister, let me call you back. I'm on live. All right, bye. Okay. The second ancestral agreement that you have is to heal the families, especially because of that 6. Heal the families' lessons around responsibility and abandonment. So you agree with your ancestors that you will come here and teach love that is present, demonstrate a love that is present and that is accountable. So every time you're in relationships, you don't want to take accountability, you're working against your ancestral agreement. All right? That 9 in the ancestral agreement means that you are here to carry forward the gift of wisdom and vision. And also, and a little bit of that 7 too. And also grounding it to structures that endure. Okay? And so in that, another agreement for the ancestors with you is to begin again, to start fresh, i.e. what you just said. Start my life over. Start a whole new life in another place. Where others in your lineage ended in collapse, you are the trailblazer and you are the rebuilder. That's your ancestral agreement. Okay? To do things in a new way. Okay? 2 more sections of agreement to look at. Your divine agreement. This is your Ori agreement, your soul agreement, your agreement with the universe, with the source. To embody, because that 9 and that 6. To embody the compassionate healer while also guarding sacred truth. Embody the compassionate healer while also guarding sacred truth. Your agreement with the divine is for you to walk through cycles of endings and beginnings. That's that number 9, and that's that number 1 you got. As a living lesson of spiritual renewal. So you may find that your life has been full of and will continue to be full of starts and stops. And that's okay, because that's how you were designed. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. That's a part of your design. And learning how to navigate when things have come to an end and when it's time to start anew. And anytime that you delay ending things, that's why I keep meeting soulmates, period. That's why when you delay things, when things are going on for too long, things start to go south, because you are now working outside of your design. Hey, Jamila, how are you? How's the baby? Okay. Period. And so this is just a part of your design. All right. I'm running from him now, Lord. Okay, here you go. See? There you go. Last divine agreement is to fulfill a promise of becoming a mystic leader. So you are supposed to become a leader in spirituality. And guess what? Does that mean you got to have a platform and do what I do or do what others do? No. You can become a spiritual leader in your community. You can become a leader. Mother, answer my email when you get a chance. OMG, you're back. I'm so worried about you. Baby, I had to take a 4 sabbatical, but I have come back. Yes, I will look into it. I'm running from leader in spirituality as well. I know you are. See that? That's what you're supposed to do, though. So you're going against your design. That's why you can't outrun it. That's why it keeps showing up. Okay, y'all better now. Okay, good. No, that's good. That's good to hear. But that's part of your divine agreement. So guess what? Keep running, sweet. But you're going to come into that as well. Last piece of the contract we're looking at today. Your relational agreements. What are the agreements that you made that you will fulfill with others? First, to learn the balance of love without losing self. Dear God. Loving without losing self. You can't love somebody else and stop loving yourself. Love without losing self. Another relational agreement is You're gonna attract teachers and lovers. So funny, because you said that's why you keep meeting soulmates. This is a part of your relational agreement. To attract teachers and lovers. OMG, I hardly ever see any other Darcels. Come on, another Darcel. Yes. Let me follow you back. Listen, we are the ones, okay? We are the ones. The ones. So you have the ability to, you're going to be, attracting teachers and lovers who test your ability to discern truth from illusion. I'm not meant for just one lifelong lover. I knew it. I have two now. Well, listen. Well, we can't even, it's hard for us to even get 0.5. Could I get 0.5 of a lifelong lover? Excuse me. Could I get 0.23% of a lifelong lover? Can I just get a couple of months? Can I get 8 months, 9 months? And here you got 2. Give me a piece. All right? 2 more things in your relational agreements. Because of that 6 and that 9, you also carry the responsibility for family and for community. But also, you are to redefine what family means and family structures. Hey, Claude. Hey, friend. You are to redefine what family means. And lastly, a part of that relational agreement, heal relational patterns of dependency. People being overly dependent on you, you being dependent on other people. Control. People trying to control you, you trying to control other people. Sacrifice. You overly sacrificing for other people overly sacrificing for you. And grow that into mutual balanced partnerships. Okay? And these are the 4 agreements of your soul contract. Thank you, Patrice. I got Katina, then I got Lenora. Patrice, did it resonate for you? Amazing. Thank you. You are so welcome. Again, we've taken the spirit and bringing it to the strategy. Okay? Definitely resonate. Family part as well. So wild to me. Everybody with that 9, I'm telling you, that 9 does that. Part of my soul contract is to redefine family as well, but it's to specifically find chosen family. And that has been such a large portion of my life. And so when you understand, you understand. Okay, I got Katina. Katina, are you here? Hey, Katina. Oh. Listen, if y'all so wants to slide over to let me do this. Y'all want to slide over there to the Patreon? You can. Let me put that down there. Honey, because we're doing a new thing. And make sure that that is even clickable. All right. Okay, here we go. Katina, let's get into it. Come on, let's see. 3, 5, 1, 9. Yes. These are the numbers for your sacred count. Katina, write these numbers down and hold them to your chest bone. Okay, this shows your spiritual SSI or SSN, excuse me. Spiritual Social Security number. 3, the joy spirit. 3, 5, the freedom spirit. 1, the ancestral current, which is the originator. And 9. 3, 5, 1, and 9. Write those down. Put those on every working, on every prayer. Put them in your phone. Get a tattoo of it. Slap it on you. Those are your sacred numbers. Okay, 3, 5, 1, and 9. All right. So let's get into your soul agreements. What are the agreements you have with self? What are the agreements you have with your ancestors? Ancestors. I was caught between ancestors and ancestral. And so ancestors. Your ancestors. Okay. What is the divine agreement? The agreement you got with the source, with the spirit, with the universe. And also the agreements you have in your relationships. All right. So, self-agreement number 1, Katina. With that 3, you are to develop the courage to fully express yourself without shrinking or masking. To develop the courage to fully express yourself without shrinking or masking. Take the mask off. Okay? The next agreement you have with yourself is that 5 coming in there, which is to embrace freedom. There's a difference between being free and being reckless, right? We're talking about embrace freedom, not as recklessness, but let's call it a sacred flexibility. Learning how to move with change rather than resist it. Okay, this is shifting here. Okay, let me lean into this. Let me understand this happening here. All right, and go forth. All right, learning to move with change, not resisting it. The third agreement within the self section is to trust your independence. That's that number one energy. Trust your independence while knowing and remembering that you are also here to serve humanity. So it's that balance of extend and give, but also self-care, self-work. And also, because of these numbers and in that self-agreement space, you are to experience in this lifetime many, many cycles of endings and completions. Things being good for while they were, and then it needing to come to a close. Transitions, right? Many different cycles of endings and completions. It's not because you're doing anything wrong. It's just the design and what you're supposed to live. Hi, highest fairy. Greetings. And each one of those endings, each one of those completions are refining you. They are refining you. They're refining your wisdom. They're refining your compassion. Okay? So those are your self-agreements within your contract. Let's talk your ancestral agreements. Listen, you and the ancestors put y'all heads together and you said, listen, when you get down there, I am here for a word today. Supreme medication you give. Oh, come on, supreme medication. Excuse me? Listen, call me the spiritual pharmacist. I give supreme medication. I receive that. Let's talk your ancestral agreements, Katina. That 3 and that 5. First agreement is to break patterns of stagnation, of silence, and of fear by living boldly. So your ancestors, the ancestors that might not have visited any other place, moved any other place, lived in different parts of the world, you are there to break the stagnation of your lineage. You are there to break the sicknesses of secrets. And you are there to live in your expression boldly. So anytime you are maintaining stagnation, anytime we're trying to keep quiet, to keep the peace, Darcel on the main line, tell them what you want. Darcel on the main line, tell them what you want. Okay. So anytime, that you are silent to keep the peace. Can I tell us something? The whole I'm trying to keep the peace thing is a trick bag. Examine in what ways, and everyone needs to do this. In what ways have we been saying that we're keeping the peace, but we're just being quiet? In what ways have we been saying that we're doing something to keep the peace, but we're just being quiet? Quiet don't equal peace. If that were the case, people wouldn't be able to suffer in silence. All right. You are also here as it pertains to your ancestral agreement to heal your family legacies around dependency, relying on religious structures, relying on men, relying on whatever, by way of embodying your own independence and embodying your own leadership. This also leads us to this next point in your ancestral agreement, which is to finish karmic lessons around loss. That's also part of the 9. Lessons around forgiveness, lessons around compassion. You come from a people who lost a great amount of things and had trauma surrounding money. Okay? And also issues surrounding forgiveness, holding grudges. They done went to the afterlife and they still upset at these people. So you're here to finish those lessons, to learn those lessons as it pertains to loss, compassion, and also forgiveness. That's the energy of that 9. You also carry forward creative and pioneering gifts. That's that leadership. D, you can still get on the list if you want to. The leadership. I know some people I know I got to keep the list open for. D is one of those people. Okay. Yeah, that's that number 1, to carry forward creative and pioneering gifts. Okay. That were left unfinished by your ancestors who were in positions where they could not manifest those things or bring those things to light. So the strange, different, new things that you want to do are actually you carrying out the unfinished business of your ancestors. Yes. All right. Now let's get into your relational agreements, and then we have your divine agreements. Because of that 5 and that 1 that you have in your count, in your sacred count, you agree to come and experience relationships as lessons in freedom and balance. Freedom and balance be the theme in all your relationships. Learning not to sacrifice independence, but not to avoid commitment either. Learning not to sacrifice your independence, your own individuality, but also not avoid commitment out of fear. Okay? The second of your relational agreements is to attract lovers, rivals, teachers who help to refine your self-expression. And also your self-knowledge. So the relationships, whether they're successful or unsuccessful, partnerships, teachers, all that, rivals, enemies, haters, all are coming to help you refine your self-expression and also your knowledge of self. That's what they're to do. And that's what they are doing. Also, to form bonds that expand them. Excuse me, expand you beyond limitation. Bonds that don't keep you caged. Okay? And last but definitely not least, in the relational agreements, that 9 means that you are to model compassion and forgiveness to those that you are in connection with. Even in relationships that are challenging to you, you're a model of that. You're also a model of ending relationships and things when they are no longer well. You're a model for that. Those are your relational agreements. And if we slip and slide ourselves right over here to your divine agreements, these are the ones. These are the ones. Your divine agreement is to live as a bridge between freedom and wisdom, and teaching all that you encounter that liberation, true liberation and freedom has to be rooted in love and in the truth. True liberation and freedom has to be rooted in love and truth. Period, exclamation point. Okay? The second of your divine agreements is to, because of that 3, is to embody joy, is to be happy. And share your joy as medicine. Just like herbs and all that are medicine, joy is also medicine. In a world, in an environment that is often hardened by struggle, this also leads you to that 9. Your divine agreements is to walk the path of endings. Your divine agreement is to release what no longer serves. Releasing what no longer serves. So when you hold on to things that you know no longer serve you, Katina, you put yourself in bad shape. All right? And last but certainly not least of the ancestral agreements, divine agreements, is for you to give voice to Spirit's wisdom and fully step into becoming a healer, becoming a humanitarian who uses the things that you create as a channel of divine truth. So with all that, you got to be mindful of inconsistency and scattered energy and unfinished projects. You got to be mindful of restlessness. That 5, you got to be mindful of being afraid of being trapped or having difficulty committing. That number 1, you got to be mindful of burdens of leadership and pressure to do it all, and particularly for the family. And also cycles of loss and betrayal and endings that are going to come and test your capacity for that 9 energy, which is the wisdom and which is the compassion. All right, Katina? That's your soul contract. Thank you, Katina. Lenora, then I got AD. This was great. Thank you. Thank you, Katina. I appreciate you. Hold on 1 second. If you could see how hard I pulled up when you said I can get on the list, AD, please. Got you, Lenora. Oh, today is your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lenora. Happy birthday to you. Come on, August. Come on, Leo. And my birthday is tomorrow. Hold on. Where's my... Oh, I dropped my thing. Hold on. I dropped my phone. Wait. This is what I was looking for. My birthday's tomorrow. Hello. Just so y'all was aware. Just so y'all know, my birthday's tomorrow. Yeah. Come on, Leo. All right. So let's get into this. I appreciate the early birthday. Thank you. Okay. Ooh, come on now. All right. So let's get into this soul contract. So we got, ooh, you got, woo, you ate up. Birth gate 8. Soul nature 8. 7, 5. All right, here's your sacred count. Hold on to these numbers. 8, 8, 7, and 5. 8, 8, 7, and 5. Uh-huh. Ooh. 8, 8, 7, and 5. Those are that's your spiritual social security number. All right. Let me tell you something. When somebody like you got those 8s like that, you can't get away with nothing, can you? As soon as you try to do the wrong thing, it's exposed. Hey, Dr. Jones. Hey. It's exposed. Soon as you try to do the wrong thing, it's exposed. And we'll talk about why. So let's get into your self-agreements. Actually, let me run to the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. And give me some water. I'll be right back. All right. Woo. All right, here we go. All right. Let's get into it. Oh, my back. Agreement. Oh, yeah. Self-agreement. We're in the self-agreement, all right? Lenora, because you got that double 8, this is why I know you got caught up if you did the wrong thing. To learn to wield power with integrity as opposed to domination. Learn to wield power with integrity. I'm telling you, heavy on the back, Danielle Rose. Right. Rather than domination. That 8 is the number of the executive. Why is this phone so high up? Wait a minute. That 8, like I was saying, is the number that is the leader. That's the executive. That's the business owner. That's the authoritarian. So a huge lesson and a huge agreement with yourself is to move with integrity above all else, other things. It means a lot to me. And that's exactly why. Also, your second self-agreement is to carry karmic tests around responsibility, karmic tests around money and control until you have reached the space of spiritual maturity. Okay, got you, Highest Fairy. Okay, I see you. Hello, hello, hello. Yes. All right. So lots of lessons around responsibility, lots of lessons around money, lots of lessons around control until you reach a level of spiritual maturity. In addition to that, we have, because of that 5 number you got to learn, your agreement with yourself is to learn how to release rigidity, how to trust that change and freedom are not chaos, but there's a divinity to it. There's a divine order to motion. So being able to go with the flow in all aspects of our lives. Being able not to predict, but to pivot. Okay? And because you got that 7, you got to learn to integrate solitude without falling into isolation. So that is something that I have been doing, creating cycles for myself. Okay, wait a minute, Darcel. Now, you know you're going to need to rest. Okay, you've been going hard in the paint here. You're going to need to rest. Where's your recharge? Where's your pullback? Where's your recharge? Where's your pullback? Okay? Gotta work that out. So those are the self-agreements. Let's talk about our relational agreements. I'm gonna rearrange this. We'll talk about our relational agreements, our ancestral agreements, then our divine agreements. So relational agreements, let me tell you, you attract relationships because of the 8 that tests your relationship with power. Some partners mirror control. Other partners mirror submissions. So when partners, friends, teachers, things come into your life, ask yourself, what is this person showing me? Yes, they're agreements as well. Karmic is an agreement as well, yes. Just things that your soul agreed to face in order to balance, to evolve, or to complete unfinished business. Yes. Mm-hmm. Also, to learn that love does not require domination. And also learn how to release people without clinging to them. These comes a sacrifice of some sort. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Release without clinging. And also how to have someone be yours without feeling like you own them or having to be possessive of them, or also them trying to own you. We ain't slaves no more. Okay. Also, to face lessons of betrayal, loyalty, and authority through your close connections. That's all that 8 energy. You got that double 8. And learning how to discern a betrayer from a loyalist. And so the goal in your contract is for you to learn how to grow your partnerships, grow into partnerships, that honor both your freedom and responsibility. And that is going to help to teach you the balance between commitment and individuality. I cannot be more committed to you than I am to myself. All right? You're learning all of this right on time. Right on time. Let's get into your ancestral agreements and then your divine agreement. Ancestral agreement. With that 7 and all that 8 karmic energy is to carry forward the spiritual work left unfinished. Peep this, by ancestors who held truth but were silent. So you are finishing the work of the silent ancestors. I feel like Oprah. Were you silent or were you silenced? Mm. That's what that 7 brings you. So you're going to have to be the one that says what needs to be said. You're going to have to be the one that does the things. That's a part of your agreement. So understand that for every person in your ancestor in your lineage that were silenced or remain silent, you're here to finish their spiritual work. We take that 8 and that 7. This lets me know ancestrally, you're here to break generational cycles around the misuse of power. That's why the themes of domination, learning to love without domination, keeps coming up. Learning to be in connection with people without exploiting them. And also that means not being silent about the harm doers. Calling out the harm doers. Breaking silence around, because 8 is all justice centered. Breaking cycles of silence around injustice. So, yes, you're going to be the one to shake it up. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. I got you, dang it. Oh, yeah, for sure. There's a divinity in that. Yeah, there is. One, you are an initiator and your partner's an ender. You tend to be the betrayal, not betrayal, the trailblazer. That's what I meant to say. You are the trailblazer, and then the partner tends to shore up behind you energetically. So for sure. Also, Lenora, you're reconciling themes of secrecy. We've been talking about the secrecy, but also religion, spirituality in your bloodline, making the wisdom public and practical. So you may be the only one around you that is as spiritual as you are in your family. And it is your job to bring that to light. It's your job to do that. Okay? That's your ancestral agreement. And thus what you will end up doing is liberating the future generations in your lineage. Liberating them from fear of restriction by way of practicing and embodying that freedom that you speak about. Okay? And so let's talk about your divine agreements. Last of your 4 main agreements. You're here to master the lesson. This is the agreements you got with the source, honey, with the cosmic mother, with the universal mother, with your Ori. It's to master the lesson of control versus surrender. And learning that true power, Lenora, comes from alignment. True power does not come from force. True power comes from alignment. True power does not come from force. Okay? Second of your divine agreement is to bridge that 7 and that 8, the mystical and the practical. How can you bring the spiritual down to earth? Third of the agreements, because of that 5, is, like I said, to embody freedom earlier. But embody freedom not just for you, but for other people. You know how they got fruit of the spirits? That liberation is the fruit of discipline. And you are divinely here to teach that karmic law, that 8, and divine change, that 5, are not opposites, but they are complementary forces. Okay? This is your soul contract. Thank you, Lenora. You're so welcome. Now I got AD. AD, are you on the road right now? All right, got you. Come on, right on time. All right, here we go, D. Let me see. D, remind me of what's your full birthday? Oh, I see you, Daily Couple Joe. I got you after D. Oh, I think I got it. Don't I got it? I got it from yesterday. 6473. Yeah, I got it. Okay, you sent it to. Okay. Good. That'll be fine. Okay. Okay. Woo. Okay, here we go. Okay, D. Yeah, so remember your sacred count is 6, 4, 2, and 3. Let me double check this. 6, 4, 2, 3. Yeah. 6, 4, 2, 3. Let's see. 2. Let's make sure. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's get into it. So we're breaking this down here by your self-agreements, your ancestral agreements, your divine agreements, your relational agreements. I'm actually go self, relation, ancestral, divine. And then I got Daily Cup of Joe next. So your self-agreements, AD, because of that 6, first agreement, your soul made, you made to come into this life, is that you're going to learn how to nurture others without losing yourself. That's the 6. How do I nurture other people, be present for other people, give to other people without losing me? Okay? How do I do that? Second agreement for yourself, because that 4 is to build strong foundations and systems for you. So this is turning discipline into a sacred order, as to saying, I'm not doing this in this way because I have to do it. I'm doing this way because this is the most honorable thing for me to do for myself. It is sacred that I have an order. It is sacred that I have structure. It's sacred. Ain't nobody making me do it. It's sacred that I do that. Okay? Also, your agreement with yourself because of that 3 is to evolve, D, from carrying burdens to embracing joy and your self-expression. So life should not just be about you being Miss Sophia in the color purple. Tussling and fighting. Happy Sunday, Kelly, sister friend number 1. Sister friend number 1, for real. Woo, y'all know y'all got friends that you just catch the Holy Ghost thinking about how good of a friend they are. Kelly's one of those people. For real. Baby, I'll kick somebody's knees inside out behind Kelly. They knees inside out behind Kelly. Okay. All right. Also, the agreement you made with yourself, D, is for you to balance responsibility with freedom. So the service you provide other people, inside out and outside in. Yes, Kelly. Needs just don't know what to do. D, the service you provide people should be soul filling, not soul draining. So how can I help? How can I give without giving away? Okay? We want to give but not give away. Or child, give and not give out. So all those things are the self-agreements you made to learn. So these are things that life keeps bringing you in different forms to ensure that you have understood this. Let's talk about your relational agreement. So these are the agreements you came to this world with other people. Woo! First one is for you to experience relationships as spiritual classrooms where balance and reciprocity are constantly tested. Balance and reciprocity constantly tested. That's good. That's not bad. Okay. Also, to attract partners, friends who demand structure, who demand responsibility, and thus it pushes you to learn the balance. Okay? So you've had so much of a life experience where you were giving and doing and doing and giving and giving and doing and doing and giving and giving and giving. And yet the burnout comes because nothing was being poured back into you as you was giving out. So let me tell you this. This also means that you, D, are to build family, chosen family, or blood family, where love, cooperation, and responsibility are equally shared. D, everything ain't supposed to be on you. Period. Exactly. And so those that are not pouring back in, we must do the work to release them and connect with people that will. Listen, get you friends that'll celebrate you. One of my friends just took me out to set up a whole thing for a surprise brunch for me yesterday. And I was like, what? I didn't even think y'all was doing this. We want the people that's going to celebrate us, not us always being the one trying to celebrate the other people. Okay? Let's get into your ancestral agreements. These are the agreements you made with your ancestors before they passed you on through. Ooh, child. Everything you spoke on is already in process. So that means that you are being on point. You are in direct alignment with your divine design, with your contract. You are fulfilling the contract. Okay? You are not in breach of contract. Ain't that a good thing? You are not in breach of your contract. So when we talk your ancestral agreement, because you got that number 2 energy, your ancestor says, sweetie, you're going to be healing patterns of imbalance in your relationships. Same thing. Do you see the theme here? Overgiving, overextended, reciprocity, needing balance. Okay? Heal those patterns. Come on. Unfortunately, that includes my daughters. Yes, it does. And that'd be the worst things. Woo! Woo! Come on. Yeah. The second agreement from your ancestors or with your ancestors is to, excuse me, reconcile family wounds around broken partnerships, around dependency, around lack of harmony, right? As to say, you know what? We ain't been loving each other correctly. You know what, daughters? This ain't how this is supposed to go. Let's course correct this so we could show up and do things the right way. Because more than likely, you had ancestors who, again, let somebody wear them out to the bone because they're just the one giving and giving and giving, or ones who did not do what was necessary to course correct whatever the discord was in the relationships. Okay? They're not receptive then. And sometimes all you can do is demonstrate an openness and a willingness. That's all you can do. And sooner, hopefully sooner rather than later, but it may be related in sooner, they'll understand. In addition to that, hey, Corey Bell, how are you? You are to carry forth the gift of cooperation. All right? If you can't, you're not going to be able to work with everybody, excuse me. But there can be somebody, okay? And you are to lean into that reciprocity. I think your theme of your soul contract is choosing reciprocity over everything. All right? Y'all not going to kill me in my giving. Y'all not. Y'all not going to kill me. Okay? It's a must. And also to accept a form of relationship that does not honor reciprocity is for you to be in breach of your soul contract, and you can't do that. You can't do that. All right? That's your agreements with your ancestors. Now let's talk about your divine agreements. Because you got that 6 and that 3, your agreement with the mother of the universe is to embody the healer archetype. The healer. You're going to embody that healer. You're going to learn the things. You're going to learn how to do that, how to walk in that. And then you're going to transmute that healer into joy and to creative expression. D said, uh-oh. Yeah. Joy into creative expression. So we're going to heal, be a healer, but we're not going to miss out on the joy. Because joy is as healing as the rocks you shake and the smoke you blow. Okay? That 4 and that 3 lets me know that part of your commitment with the mother is to show that there is structure and joy and creativity that can live together. We can do both. We can be on our business, have our business together, be on top and on point with that, and we could have a good time, and we could be happy. Again, you don't have to live your life as Sophia from The Color Purple or as Celie. Okay. And a lot of this energy here is, as we're talking about the harmony, as we're talking about the love, as we're talking about responsibility, this is done through how you live, not just what you say. So it's how you live. So a lot of what people are going to learn from you is caught, as opposed to taught. But it is to embody it and live in a way that is harmonious, live in a way that is love and responsibility centered. And part of the legacy that you're going to leave behind is one of laughter, one of inspiration. Not this hard, Lord, we've been coming up the mountain, Lord. Lord, we've been coming up the mountain. Okay? And so these are your agreements. This is your soul contract. Thank you, Dee. Hey, Loving Me More. It's your birthday month. It is my birthday month. Tomorrow's my birthday. Yeah, we tired of coming up the hill. Thank you, Dee. Now I got a daily cup of Joe. Is that right? Yes, I do. You're welcome. Listen, the only that you hey. Let me tell y'all something. The only pastor that I would ever claim, her name is Dr. Claudette Anderson Copeland. Can't get on the list. Can I get on the list? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Dr. Claudette Anderson Copeland. We called her Pastor C. She's still alive, but I'm just not a Christian no more. But Pastor C. And the funny thing about Pastor C is such an intellectual woman. Like, you're gonna have that thesaurus and that dictionary out, baby. You're gonna have to. Very verbose. But every time she would sing, and we would get up there and sing, we don't know what song she's singing. Pastor C had these hymns that came from the deep wood crevices of the slave ship. I mean, ingrained, the deep corners. I mean, an enslaved African woman kept this hymn braided in that one braid she could hardly reach. Because the song, she'd be like, what? What song is this? Oh, you know Pastor C? Yes. Yes. Right? So good. I'm like, we don't know this song. And they expect you to know it. I was not there. I don't know these songs. But Pastor C would always sing a song, and she would come in with a smoky alto. And it would always be about running from the devil. Run, cheer, and run. You're like, why we got to be running? It's a certain like, oh, him. There's a man out by the water. It sounds like, what song is this? And they gonna hang him on the cross. There's a man out by the water. Lord, they gonna hang him by the cross. And we're like, ooh, man by the water, by the cross. We don't know this song, Pastor C. Run, children, run. Why we gotta be running? The devil might bite you. Why is the devil trying to bite me? What's happening here? Okay. Daily Cup of Joe. Let's do yours. Oh, we just don't want to be around. I don't, and that's part of why I stopped with Christianity. I was tired of running from the devil. I mean, for real. Tired of running from the devil. The last time you helped me was right before my mom passed. Really? You told me she was passing on a day before she passed. You man, oh my goodness. I am so sorry to hear that. And I'm grateful that even if it was just a 24-hour preparation, that I was able to assist with that. Honey, she's an ancestor now. Where we at? Oh yeah, this was in May, you said. She's an ancestor now. She was really sick, but you helped me to help accept it. Okay. Got it. Ashe. Grateful. Grateful for that. And that's why this is why I cuss people out when they try to tell me what I'm doing is demonic. Excuse me. Okay, you let the people have it. Tomorrow's not promised. Cuss their ass out today. Okay? That's just it. Okay? They want to interrupt what you're doing, just cuss them out. They want to call your practice demonic, just cuss their ass out. What good? What what harm is that gonna cause? Just let them have it. But all jokes aside, I'm grateful to have been a part of that. So let's look at your soul contract. So I need you to understand your sacred count numbers. These are numbers these are your spiritual social security numbers. Okay? 3, 1, 5, and 9. 3, 1, 5, and 9. Okay? 3159. 3159. So first, we're going to look at the self-agreements. Then we're going to look at the relational agreement. I knew you was going to say 9. Really? Boom. Then we're going to look at your ancestral agreements and then your divine agreements. With that 3, an agreement you made with yourself coming into this world is that you was going to express truth through joy. You were going to express truth through art. You were going to express truth through communication. Period. You was going to interrupt if there was a negative, somebody trying to spin a narrative. You are the one charged to be like, now, wait a minute. Somebody lied. Somebody lied. Okay? Peace, Titus. How you doing, Titus? I don't play. What you say? I don't play about the truth. I know that's right. And that's why. 3. Also, a part of your agreement with self, going to that number 1, is to embrace your independence and learning how to lead and trust your vision. You said, I'm going to learn to go by my vision, to trust my vision, to invest in my vision. That's so hard for me. See, that's part of your contract you still fulfilling. But you're going to get there. The best way to get there is by start doing that. It's easier by starting to do that, excuse me. It's easier to go by what others say than what you say. Because if something go wrong, it's them and not you. You don't got to be responsible for that, right? And also, you can just rely on others. You don't got to think about it. You don't got to. However, the lesson therein is that you got to. You have that number 1 for a reason. You are the originator. You are the trailblazer. The trailblazer is the one to blaze the trail. You cannot wait for others to blaze it for you. Sorry. Another agreement that you made with yourself is that you're going to transform, that energy of abandonment into confidence in self. What if every time you thought people left you, it was Spirit giving you an opportunity to believe in yourself? What if it was that? What if every time people seemingly abandon you, it was Spirit's opportunity, giving you an opportunity to trust yourself and discover what you can do? Discover your own power. Discover your own confidence. I'll tell you that it is. Converting that abandonment into confidence in the self. Yeah, that hits. And guess what? That is the stronger choice to believe in. That's the stronger choice to believe in. Yes, all of this is hard. All of this is hard. Hard and impossible are 2 different things. These are a part of your numbers. So this is what you are going to do. Okay? Also, for self to evolve into wisdom. That's that 9. And learn compassion through love, through loss, and through release. Those are the agreements with the self. Now we look at your relational agreements. That 1 and that 5 comes up here. So this is for you to do what? Attract partners that test your independence. And in that, you will learn, and have been learning, when to stand alone and when to merge. What's me? And what's you and when is it we? Actual agreement with others. Okay. You took that out of my mouth, child. Got it. This piece of my hair wrap I don't want to do the right thing. You're gonna do the right thing today. Okay. I learned about codependency. Right. That 9 also lets you know that part of your relational agreements is to navigate cycles of love and endings, and to use that to refine your own wisdom, the knowledge that you gain through your experience. So all of those relationships and those cycles are supposed to be refining your wisdom. It is supposed to evolve how you look at people. It's supposed to evolve how you look at relationships. It's supposed to do that. Okay. Cycle of love. Oh, cycle of love and endings. All right. Okay. Another relational agreement because of that 3 and that 1 is discernment in friendships, discernment in communities. Again, balancing that need for connection, that joy of connection, shall I say, with that need for selfhood. Yeah, we enjoying ourselves and yeah, we feel connected and this, that, and the other. However, comma, I also need my alone time. I need my individuality. So balancing that. And ultimately, your agreement is to simply cultivate relationships that are rooted in freedom and truth and compassion. Those are the 3 tenets for your relationships: freedom, truth, and compassion. Let's look at what your agreements were with your ancestors. Let me tell you this. You got that 5. Let me double check. Where is that 5 in the the 5 is your ancestral current number. Let me tell you about that 5. That is you being the agreement you came in with your ancestors. Was that you would carry forth the legacy of the freedom seekers, carry forth the legacy of the travelers, carry forth the legacy of the survivors. So you are not supposed to just live in one place. You are not supposed to stay in one parameter. You're supposed to be moving. You're supposed to be going to different places. You're supposed to be meeting all types of different people. You're carrying forth the legacy of the freedom seekers. Oh, I got chills. I got to get over my fear of flying. Absolutely. guess what? And if the, and you know, then y'all gotta know, I got a strange perspectives on some things. But if I get on a plane, that plane go down, that was when I was supposed to go. What can I do? I'm dead. That's where my brain goes. As to say, the plane is not going to go down with you on it. You want to know why, sweetie? It's a part of your destiny to go from place to place. It's a part of your destiny to be a freedom seeker. It's a part of your destiny to be a traveler. So even if you were to go tumbling down traveling, teach the people. Of course, you would come in right here, Reed. You are not meant to be in one place. You said, I'm literally packing my apartment right now while talking to you. Listen, one thing the Spirit gonna do is align. That's one thing the Spirit gonna do. I'm sitting here telling you about your ancestral agreement of the freedom seeker and the traveler, and you packing right now. You can't get no better confirmation than that. You can't get no better confirmation than that. Also, you are to heal family patterns of instability, of inconsistency, and also their idea of stability. You have a lineage where folks will stand in bad situations. I'm a global citizen. I know that's right, Larry. You have a history of ancestors who stayed in bad situations in the name of stability. Same thing that I said earlier. Peace and quiet are exclusive. Peace don't mean quiet. Quiet don't mean peace. Stuck and stable are two different things. Both mean you're in the same position. Two different things. You said my mom, unfortunately. I understand. A part of your ancestral agreement is to liberate yourself in that way. And through you choosing freedom radically, choosing movement radically, you're honoring the ancestors who sacrificed their freedom so future generations can be liberated. That's you. Your ancestors couldn't move from this place. You can. You understand? And also, because you do have a lineage with the travelers, you can ground and stabilize that traveling energy with channeling it to vision and purpose. To travel and to wonder are two different things. Listen, we're talking about the nuances. Wandering aimlessly and traveling are different things. Wandering aimlessly and traveling with intention are two different things. These are your agreements with your ancestors. Now let's understand your divine agreements. What is your agreement with the divine mother, the mother of the universe? That's what I call her. Others have different names. I call her the mother because every time she's come to me, it's been a divine mother. Because you got that 3 as part of your sacred count, It is in recognizing that joy, the joy you bring, the laughter you bring, the creativity that you bring is divine service. Laughter and light are sacred offerings. Laughter and light are sacred offerings. All right. Another divine agreement you have with that number one is to be the pioneer. You just got to go. You are to pioneer new ways of thinking. You are to pioneer new ways of living. You are to pioneer new ways of loving. Okay. Oh, loving me more. I almost didn't even see you. Okay, I have you after I'm finished with Daily Cup of Joe. Yeah. Yeah. Another of your divine agreements, looking at your fives, is to embody that liberation as a principle. Freedom is a pillar of my life and of my soul. Liberation is a pillar of my soul. It's a principle. So I'm freeing myself and I'm freeing others from limiting structures. And so I'm going to fulfill that number 9 vow, which you have, of compassion. This is what the divine ultimately has for you and the agreement. You're going to become that healer. You're going to become that teacher. You're going to become that wise presence who helps close cycles for others. And that's that number 9 energy. That number you knew I was going to say. Okay? This is your soul contract. Thank you, Daily Cup of Joe. And last, you're so welcome. So welcome. But not least, we got Loving Me More. Could you send me your full birthday, please? Thank you for taking time with me, baby. No problem. Listen, we're here to meet the spirit and the strategy. That's what all this is about. How are we combining spirit and strategy? And the numbers will do that for you. You said 10-8, what year? $73, got it. Listen, it's a lot of 73s coming up in here. Come on, 73. Yes. Yeah, that all those born in 73 got that generational touch of the peacemaker. That's the spirit of the peacemaker that swept through that generation. Okay? So here are your numbers. your sacred count, your spiritual social security number. So, birth gate. Your numbers are this: 1, 8, 2, and master number 11. 1, 8, 2, and 11. Let me pull this banner down. I'm gonna make myself big on here. My circle. All right. 1, 8, 2, 11. All right. Write those numbers down. Use them to pray with, put on your workings and all that. And the third. Okay. Self-agreements. Because you got that one first agreement your soul made. You said self, yourself said, First agreement your soul made was that I'm going to learn independence. I'm going to learn to be a self-defined leader without being isolated. Solitude and isolation are two different things. I'm going to become this leader. I'm going to walk in my independence, but I am not going to become a lone wolf. Okay? And all of the sister and cousin words that come with that. Excuse me. That's the first agreement. Your second agreement is to walk through tests around money, tests around power, tests around control, until balance is achieved. Karmic test around money, karmic test around power and control. That's all because of your number 8 energy. All right? And through that 8, a self-agreement is to refine your natural authority so that discipline and compassion are able to work together. All right? Fourth agreement of your self-agreements is gifted to us from that master number 11, divine mission number that you have. There's both a blessing and a burden of a master number 11, because you are tasked with seeing more, feeling more, and carrying more spiritual responsibility. Seeing more, feeling more, and carrying more spiritual responsibility. That's the master number 11. All true. When we talk ancestral, no, we're going to go with relational agreements. These are the agreements your soul made in conjunction with other people. All right? So, first, you agree to experience relationships that test the balance of power and partnership. Yes, power test. All of that is ego battles in relationships, not just from partners, but from yourself. Keeping your ego in check. Okay. You also made the agreement to face karmic lessons around control, around betrayal in relationships, and around dependence. This will be the case until you develop a mastery of reciprocity. Expecting reciprocity, operating reciprocity, accepting only reciprocity. Okay. And guess what? You're going to attract partners that challenge your independence and challenge your authority. But that's going to refine you through intimacy. Woo! That's because that 1 and that 8. Yes. And since that is the case, come on, Alafia. Come on. Oh, Alafia. Yes. Ianifa. Honey, the one and the only. And because you have that master number 11, you got to learn in relationships, this is a part of your agreement, to stand in union without dimming your own light. Because the master number 11 is the illuminator. Is the illuminator. Okay? And thus, you need to just start off by telling your partners this. Don't lie to me about nothing because I'm going to find out. Or something's going to happen and it's just going to come to surface naturally. That's just the card backs. Okay? So those are the relational agreements. We're going to transition now to your ancestral agreements. What you and your ancestors talked about, child, before you got here. What you were supposed to be doing on their behalf and what they are doing through you. Okay? First, because you got that 2 and you got that 8 in your count, you agreed to heal ancestral imbalances in relationships. So cycles of dominance, cycles of submission, and cycles of codependence. Okay? So more than likely, you have seen all of that come up in your connections. Somebody wanting to be a dominator, somebody not wanting to lean over and surrender. There needing to be a give and a take. Okay? The balance. Okay? And also, people overly relying on each other. Codependence. So there's history of all of this within your lineage, and you are helping to resolve that through your living. Okay. Another ancestral agreement that you have here is learning to reconcile tension between power and partnership. Basically, is to say to learn how to embody your authority, keep your authority without erasing the harmony. And again, that just brings that dominance into balance. Okay. We're not here to dominate. We're here to co-reign. Co-reign. Reign. Shanika Mitchell. Hi, I learned from a video of you did a couple of years ago with Queen Poe. Yes, my good sister friend. I'm interested in spiritual coaching and being more tapped into spirit. Yeah. Well, if you look at my bio, you'll see a link, allegedly. But you can book services. And I have a coaching. And so we could put all our things together, click our heels 3 times, honey, and get where we need to get to. I'm gonna comment it in the chat. Yeah, and I have a spiritual coaching and strategy session. Okay. You're so welcome. Thank you. I'm glad that video, honey, is still touching people. Okay. Hey, Christina. Another thing here, because you got that master number 11, another ancestral agreement for you. You got the gift of sight. You carry the gift of sight from your lineage, which may have been feared or suppressed in your lineage. So your spiritual giftings. Yes, really just grasping it. Yes. But you got to know that by you working on it, you're liberating your lineage. Okay? Those are your ancestral agreements. Now let's go ahead and get into your divine agreements. What's the agreement you got with the mother of the universe? Okay? First, you got that 11. So your first agreement with the universal mother, honey, is to fulfill the vow of that master number 11. That is to be a carrier of that divine illumination. That is to reveal truth where deception hides. You are the spiritual flashlight. Come on, spiritual flashlight, honey, the spiritual metal detector. Okay? Anywhere there's deception in theology, deception in people and behavior, your job is to bring it to the surface. That's it. That's your job. Exactly. Yep. And part of that divine agreement is to embody that number one's leadership energy as a sacred responsibility. not just as an ambition of yours. You're a leader. You are an originator. You are an initiator because it is a sacred responsibility, not because it's something you're good at. Okay? Furthermore, your job here, because you got that 8, those 8s, excuse me, and you got excuse me, you got that 8, not multiple 8, that's somebody else, that multiple 8. Yeah, that 1 8. And you got that 11, you're supposed to use discipline and also your karmic authority. Hold on. Your authority that comes from previous lifetimes. Hold on. I tell you, I got power from the time before. Okay? To anchor your prophetic vision, to anchor your clairvoyance, to anchor your psychic and spiritual giftings. And thus, with that too, part of the divine mission for you is to bring balance and peace into your relationships, to bring balance and peace into your communities, and also be a creator of harmony in the midst of tension, peace in the midst of chaos. Okay? And so anybody with that 11, let me tell y'all something. You got to take care of your head, of your mind, of your ori. You got to take care of your mental health. You got to take care of it. You got to. Because that master number 11 creates an overactivity, hyperactivity over the head. Because it's so sensitive. So when it's things that you really can't deal with it, you're not playing. You can't deal with it. For real. Like you really can't deal with it. This is not a game or a joke. You can't deal. Okay? Woo, this is your soul contract. Well, good people of odds, we have come to the end. I'll give you a tidbit of what I placed in the Patreon. We are currently walking in a number 7 day that is powered by this universal 8 month. 7 is the seeker. 7 is the analyst. 7 is the spirit that pulls us back from the noise so we can hear what is eternal. Make that your affirmation today. Source, spirit, ori, divine, ancestors, pull me back from the noise so that I can hear the eternal. This day should be about wisdom. This day should be about reflection. And this day should be about protecting your inner sanctuary. Okay? Well, we just received our good old transmission, our good old message from the ethers to the earth. We are moving forward in a new vision where all of our spirituality is meeting strategy. All right, so we could go ahead and not just barely make it up the hill, okay, where we can fit in some joy and some rest and some fulfillment and some peace in the process. So I love you all. Talk to you all later. Make sure you go and check out the Patreon. We're starting a new thing. It's a whole new Patreon, a new direction, a clearer, more certain direction. If you want to book a service, go to the links in those bio, honey, and book that service. I will talk to you all later. Peace and chicken grease. Ha! That's because I'm hungry. Okay, bye.